much.
I want to hear the audio.
Please be seated. Unless, of course, the chairman wants to direct. Otherwise, I'm aware that the I'm aware that the changeover from the old national anthem or from the new national anthem to the old is an ongoing process. But it does appear that the Nigerians are very eager to embrace the old national anthem. So if there is no objection, I'm not surprised. Thank you very much for the national anthem that we have just delivered. The next item is there are actually two other anthems we are going to recite here. One of them is the Ladi-Lak anthem, and the other one is the school song. I'm going to call on the president of Ladi-Lak Institute, Mr. Dr. Ikeja, to please come over and deliver the Ladi-Lak anthem. I'm very sure that all of us will join him in doing that. To Mr. Ikeja, Dr. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much. To deliver the Ladi-Lak anthem.
So please can we be on our feet as we take the school anthem. So are we set? Okay. 1, 2, go. On the eastern side of Yaba town, it's a Ladi-Lak. Little boys and girls of every town, never mind whether they are blind. From our teachers' days, we are all taught, and our principal at times instruct us. L-A-D-L-A-K stand for R-A-P-U-T-E. God Almighty bless our mighty school. God Almighty bless our mighty school. So we take the school song. Okay, so please, let's be seated.
For Dr. Mr. Ikeja for this perfect rendition of that anthem. Right now we're going to take the school song and it will be rendered. The lead rendition will be done by Mrs. Fulayo Shubiton, the vice president of the state. Please a round of applause for Mrs. Shubiton. I hope I got the pronunciation correct.
Good day, everyone. Let's sing a school song. And we are going to march. As we are singing the song, we are marching. We are young boys and girls now. Under 16s. Oh yeah, let's rise to our feet. Are we set? Are we set? Okay. Let's go. We are boys and girls. L-L-I. Yes. L-L-I. L-L-I. We are boys and girls. L-L-I.
applause for that rendition. I'm sure it was easy for many of us, or let me say many of you who are part of that institution, to recall that school song following the rendition by Mrs. Shobito. Thank you very much, Mrs. Shobito. Thank you very much, Mr. Kinyosui, and all others who have helped us to start or to kickstart this program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'd like to invite the author and publisher of the book for which all of us are here, to come and deliver an address of welcome. So I call on Mr. David Olushoga Fayemi to please come and deliver his welcome address as the author and publisher of the book for which we are all here. Thank you very much. Give a round of applause for Mr. Fayemi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Soyemi. Let me quickly go straight into the address, but before then, let me just appreciate each and every one of us here, because I know I have an opportunity as the vote of thanks is not part of the responsibility and to despite the situation in the country, I find the time to be here. I've been receiving calls from people, even my chair lady, chairperson now standing with my chairman to express to me the concern already expressed by the chairman. So we'll quickly, and of course, probably because of this, I've been in contact with the office of the commissioner and the first neighbors. So today, no response whatsoever. I want to suspend probably because of the ongoing stuff. On that note, sir, the chairman, sir, I want to go straight into the address. I want to stand on the protocol I believe has already been established. Then we quickly welcome all distinguished special guests of honor at this event, which include but not limited to the Chief Basic Academic Officer of the State, the Honorable Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Jami Tolani Adedich. Let me also now move to a more familiar terrain, having already established protocol earlier. Welcome Honorable Justice Ayotunde, who should be here. I'm sure she will join us before the end of the program. Honorable Justice Timidayo Kwobi is ably represented here, and at this point, with the kind permission of the chairman, sir, and the master of ceremony for intrusion, I most humbly want to welcome to the high table Mrs. Oredaudu, who is also representing Honorable Justice Kwobi. Mrs. Oredaudu wear two caps. She's here in her own capacity as the head of the chairman of my maternal family, the Lion family of Lagos, and she is also representing Honorable Justice. You are welcome. From there, I move straight to the former Senate President, Chief Adolfo Swaba. Over the weekend, they had very private function in the East, and expressed to me that it would be very challenging to arrive here today. Expressed some of the concern, also expressed by our distinguished elder statesman, General Ikeja, but on his way, I still welcome him to the auditorium. Then I move on to Dr. Kalu, Ideka Kalu, who I believe will likely join us before the end of the program, and also quickly also mention our boss and senior brother, Dr. Enesin Dukwe, who I also feel will still join us before the end of the program. At this point, I cannot but welcome the Executive Chairman and Chief Operating Officer of this event, our illustrious and iconic old people and elder statement, Dr. Yomi Abayomi Fini. Your mentors and guidance will forever be appreciated. Pity time does not permit that the opportunity of sharing how all the school elders unanimously adopted our highly celebrated senior as the chairman of this event. Let me pause, not only to welcome, but also to salute our living legends and old teachers at this event, especially Mama Mrs. Adebayo. A round of applause for her, please. Mama Mrs. Oluremi Akinyemi, a huge round of applause for her. Mama is probably the oldest person in this auditorium. And Mama Mrs. Ife Menkiti, who actually, nice to see you. She flew in all the way from the United States just to be at this event. I welcome also the head teacher of the school and other academic officers here present, as well as our specially invited retired state education and administrators, particularly Chief Mrs. Victoria Shanu Shobowale. I'm sure she will join us at the end of the program. Mrs. Maureen Bakari. A special round of applause for Mama Bakari. The chairman will indulge me during Mama's 8th birthday some years ago. Mama refurbished single-handedly the library at Ladi-Lak. I will not tell you how her father came back. I'm sure you will see a lot of that in the book. You are welcome. Mrs. Pani Odejimi, and I cannot but welcome the oldest old people on my list of invitees. Mama Mrs. Anastasia Abiola Kuforiji, a retired director of nursing at the Federal Ministry of Health. To you all, I say a huge welcome. I must admit that I have reached the most difficult part of this address, and that is the point. I see all the personality here seated, but I cannot mention one by one for time constraint. But the indulgence of this gathering, I would like to single out Mr. Chester Adibo, who is here with us. Mr. Chester, please, can you just take it off for the Mr. Ladipo, Chester Ladipo. He encouraged the writing of this book from the very, and in fact, it's a journey that started in 2002. Mr. Yola will testify to that when we have the 40th anniversary of the founder. And I cannot go to I also welcome each and every one of our very distinguished here present. Nonetheless, I say to you as well, to all students here present, members of the Old Students Association of LLI and its sister schools here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, you are very warmly welcome, and I wish you all a pleasant and fruitful morning. Before I yield the speaker back to the auditorium, I want to say that exactly 15 years ago, I lost one of my senior brother who happened to be a pupil of the school too. Mr. Late Kayode Abushika, and so many that are joined the same track, including the proprietor. So at some point in the program, sir, with the indulgence of the chairman, I hope we have the opportunity to give a 1 minute silence. Thank you very much.
The 1 minute silence for the soul of the late Mr. Fayede's uncle. Please let us rise and observe the 1 minute silence. We may as well do it now. And all others who have joined the call beyond, please remain in silence. May their soul rest in peace. Wow, Mr. Fire, I think Mr. Fire deserves another round of applause for that beautiful remarks that he has delivered. Many of us, or many of us here who don't belong to the Ladi-Lak Institute, I'm sure that somehow I won't be surprised if they are envying Ladi-Lak for the way they have organized themselves. Look at old men, old women who have attended the institute and who remain relevant to this for maybe 50 years, 40 years. I think that is really very impressive. Please, a round of applause for Ladi-Lak Institute. Wish you more grace to your elbow. Right now, I'd like to call on the next speaker. Actually, what we have in the program is a keynote address by Her Excellency the President, who is not here unless she has come in. But she hasn't, and I don't know whether her representative or the Commissioner for Education Lagos State, Ali Balogun, whether is here to give a keynote address. Not yet. So, permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to invite the chairman of this august occasion, Dr. Oluyomi Abayomi Fini, to deliver his chairman's address. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to hand over the microphone.
Is everybody there? Do you hear me about that? All right. I clearly apologize to the guests at this ceremony because they have shown a lot of devotion and constraint to have waited this long. I apologize to you while you see that it is all worth the while at the end of the day. David, I want to please thank you that what you done. It's probably something that a lot of us have wished to have done so many decades ago. But this for us. But we feel quite delighted that you have taken this challenge and you have brought this up to the fore. Ladies and gentlemen, because we started this program a bit late, it's just been nice about it. We will not want to make very long speech it. I want to say that I was a student, or pupil, not student, in Ladi-Lak Institute between 1948 and 1954. Unfortunately, I cannot see any of my classmates here today. I was hoping that I'll see General Ikeja because we were classmates and we were fellow travelers here and there. We played a lot of mischiefs as kids, but we thank God that we excelled in all that we set out to do. Ike ended up being in the army. He was a governor at the point. I think he actually rose to a very high level in the military, and I'm very, very proud of him. Each time we come across each other, we always talk like new friends. But I tell you, between himself, myself, and a few other friends that are not here, and I can
particularly in the road park. And it was a ground where a lot of mischiefs were committed. We did not do anything against the laws of the nation. And I would say that for all those students that had pupils, had the opportunity to be in Ladi-Lak Institute between that period when Madame, because we call her Madame Ikeja Macaulay, she was something. She was something. She was a delight to talk to, and she had a personality that was really, holy. And may her soul continue to rest in peace. I want to cut this off now so that we can move on with the nitty-gritty aspects of this ceremony. And I hope that you all sit back, enjoy what we want to present to you, mainly the lecture, and also the book that we have come here to launch, and to be able to say to the writer that you have done so well. So, ladies and gentlemen, where is the MC? Proceed to be recognized. So we want you to, we have the chairman's address, the lecture, elementary education, and Untapped Panacea for National Rebirth. You did say that the lecturer is not here. Is he here now? He's here now. To see her those quarters. So here you are. Go ahead.
Round of applause, please, for Chairman. Thank you very much. Let me quickly say that if you listen to before we move on to the next item, if you listen to the address by the author and the publisher, he mentioned so many names, so many people who are important, who are vital to the program that we are having today, including those who travel from the US and those who travel from various places, including those that we are still expecting. So, actually, many of them deserve to be on the high table. But as you can see, we have very limited places. But that doesn't reduce the importance. They're actually very, very important. So I just want to welcome them once again. Before we move on to the next program, General Ikeja is not here. He's our special guest of honor. But he's ably represented by Mr. Ayo. So I think we also would like to hear a few things from General Ikeja through Mr. Iroche. So Mr. Iroche, please come over. Okay, perhaps I should come over to you. If not, I think you can say that. Thank you very much.
Very, very excited to know that Mrs. Menkiti is here. Mrs. Menkiti taught me in Standard 4 in 1961. I am very, very excited that she could make it. Madam, welcome. Thank you very, very much. You taught me in Standard 4 in 1961. Welcome. I am very proud here today representing Yaba, I am also an ex-LLI, which I left in 1963. And I think I can only see one of my classmates, that's Professor Tundonu Amosu, who ran away in Standard 5 in 1962. So I have Jerawatuku's speech to present here. Unfortunately, he went for his uncle's funeral over the weekend, and because of this airline strike, the airports are closed, he can't be here with us. So last night he texted me his speech to deliver for him. Well, all protocols observed. Our parents got me and my siblings to attend Ladi-Lak Institute, Yaba. My older brother Nelson and my older sister Grace were ahead of me. Then my younger sisters, Chioma Jumai and Ngozi Laraba, followed by my younger brothers, Chiyereda Juma, Akachuku Adamu, and Ibechuku Gambo in that order. Our parents decided to start us off with sound educational foundation. They found Ladi-Lak Institute Yaba as the most appropriate school for us. Though my older brother and sister started from Standard 2 and 1 respectively, I and my other siblings started in kindergarten and progressed therefrom. It was our family school. In my class, were the distinguished chairman of today's book presentation, Dr. Oluyomi Fini, a celebrated obstetrics and gynecologist. Dr. Carlo Idika Carlo, renowned and highly accomplished international economist and several times State Commissioner of Finance and Federal Minister of Finance, Economic Planning respectively. Mr. Frank Hardin, a Ghanaian Nigerian and renowned international radio television journalist. Mr. Gad Fiajigbe, Togolese, himself accomplished. Senami Amosu, who incidentally is Professor Tibuna Amosu's senior sister. Career civil servant, retired Lagos PAMSEC. Otolani Macaulay, the tomboy in our class and niece of the school proprietor. Kenneth Okwesa, an accomplished industrial printer, and me, to mention a few. We had excellent teachers, most of whom were ladies. Nelly Kropp became Mrs. Nelly Michael Ibru. Nkese Mbosom Ebushere, Mr. Williams, our scoutmaster, and of course, Mrs. Rita Akaje Macaulay, wife of the school proprietor and principal, representing the rest of our teachers. It didn't matter which tribe they were, nor which faith they confessed. All that mattered were their abilities to teach, care, prepare, and groom us for our future. And they complemented the values and virtues that we came to school with from our various parents and homes. They were thorough doing their jobs. They disciplined us and did not spare the rod. I had my fair share of strokes on the palms of my hands and buttocks. Like when we went swimming at nearby stream Okobriki, Oluyomi, Frank, Otto, and I got caught on that occasion. That said, we had one of the best primary school training available in our time. Please, a big round of applause for this part. Ladi-Lak Institute Yaba was then an elite school. What with the school setting, highly educated school principal, highly qualified and caring teachers, expansive school compound where we played our different sports, including athletics. Sadly, that school compound is no longer available with other schools built on what was our well-maintained grounds and sports fields. The result is that the school kids have no recreational facilities and therefore not getting the necessary balance in education and physical training. Our school needs propping up. To this end, I must commend the leadership of the Old Students Association for what they have done so far. Please, this part is not included in this speech, but allow me to recognize Mr. Akinwale. Please stand up for recognition. Caller Akinwale, sorry. Caller Akinwale, he's done so much for the liberation of Ladi-Lak. We however need to do more. In this regard, I approached His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State, to reconstruct and refurbish the school buildings and upgrade the environment. This also allowed me to recognize Dr. Oluyomi Abayomi for his contribution. He graciously agreed and work has since commenced. Please, a round of applause. Work is now going on. Please rise with me and give a standing ovation to our illustrious governor. Please. For his contribution to this man. Governor Sanwo-Olu and his officials for this important gesture. Finally, I join the alumni of Ladi-Lak to appreciate the author of this wonderful book, Olusoga Fayemi David, for immortalizing our school by this educative book. Like you all know, this book will soon be found in libraries all over the world, and most especially the U.S. Library of Congress, where virtually all publications made in the world are domiciled. Olusoga, thank you also for giving me the honor of writing the foreword of the book. General Ikeja and time. Thank you very much.
A big applause for General Wajibu and Mr. Ayo for that beautiful remarks. Mr. Iroche, thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. To borrow the words of the chairman of the occasion, we are moving into the nitty-gritty of this program, and that is the guest lecture. The whole idea about this program is to highlight the importance of education as the bedrock of development. And that's why the title of the lecture is Elementary Education, an Untapped Panacea for National Rebirth. By the time we all listen to Professor Chiwuba, I'm very sure that we will know exactly what that means. So, permit me to quickly introduce Professor Chiwuba, our guest lecturer. Professor Umudego Chiwuba is a professor of comparative law in family succession and trust. She teaches at the University of Lagos where she's also an alumna. Her research interests have always been in human advancement in all respects, with core interests in property law, where she holds her PhD, and all areas of private law for that matter. She has seen interest in jurisprudence and legal theory, philosophy of religion, and ethics and aesthetics. Professor Odebo is a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, a member of the Association of Law Teachers, a member of the Social Legal Scholars Association, and she's a member of the British Witnessing Association, and of course the North American Witnessing Society and the International Association of Jungian Studies. She is the author of many scholarly journals and books. What I have done is to simply paraphrase her profile, because if we want to go all the way, we are already short of time according to the chairman, and then we don't want to take too much time. So without wasting time, I invite Professor Chiwuba to deliver the guest lecture. Thank you very much. Professor Chiwuba would like to stand where everybody can see her. Deliver her lecture. Thank you.
Can we give her a round of applause?
This distinguished momentous occasion, Chief Dr. Oluyomi Abayomi Fini, distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Ladi-Lak, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, ably represented, the host, author, and publisher, Chief David Oluwashogo Orofe Fayemi, Chief Launcher and Presenter, Otumba Adeniyi Adebayo, co-launchers, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe and Professor Chidonu A. Amosu. Special guest of honor, Honorable Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Jamil Ali Balogun. Major General Ikeja PhD, ably represented by General Ayo Irocha. Honorable Justice Ayotunde Phillips, retired. Dr. Kalu Idika Kalu, former Minister of Finance, Nigeria. Fumilayo Atilari, retired. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, my lords, spiritual and temporal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed honored thoughts with you on this very momentous occasion, which reminds us to remember very little things, because I would think that many of us remember our primary and elementary schools. We would start with the secondary ones if we are required to do so. Others would usually stand by the tertiary ones. But here we are, somebody's calling us to remember the very beginning. And so I am indeed honored to share my thoughts with you. And I do so in the way I'm used to, please pardon me, because for several years. And so I do so as an academic. I somehow come across to all of us, and there's a good percentage, the majority. And so I want to share my thoughts in. I start with the question of education and where it stands in the life of a society. And then I bring this to merge with the sense we have of culture. And in my talks and in the lecture I'm presenting, I'm going to take us to expand the sense we have of culture as a continuing experience that is not static but dynamic. And I'll draw on the sense in which the Supreme Court of Nigeria has also said that culture is a dynamic process. It's not something standing somewhere that we refer to as history, a static history rather than a moving history. And then I will talk very briefly on what we teach our students at 400 level at Charity of Trust. We teach them the principles of Unfortunately, they made copies of my lecture to you, which wasn't intended, so, but you have it anyway. So I start with what we call strong ratios from strong judges. Jurisdiction of to understand our relationship with Britain when we come to law. So, two cases, one from the House of Lords and one from the Irish Court, give us a sense of what education is. And I'll read that out. And if you have my paper, you could just read with me as well. In Inland Revenue Commission and Macmillan, Lord Hailsham noted that when applied to the young, education is a complex and varied term. It is a process of instruction, training, and practice, containing both spiritual, moral, mental, and physical elements. It may be assumed, therefore, that anything which forms part of the normal